Hey there, my name's Adam, your friendly Sasquatch, and today we're doing a quick video review of NiteCore's new EDC29. As the days get shorter and the weather gets nastier, having a quality EDC light with you at all times is a must. Well, power just went out. That was bad timing. This storm's worse than I thought it was going to be. Looks like I gotta get the backup power up. Okay, power's back on. Where were we? Oh, right. The days are getting shorter and the weather is getting more severe. So now's the time to be thinking about what type of EDC flashlight you want for this season. And of course, NiteCore has something ready to go. The EDC29 is a nice, low-profile, high-performance flashlight. This light has a maximum output of 6,500 lumens, 40,230 candela, a max throw of 400 meters, impact resistant to 1 meter, and IP54 rated, meaning it's dust proof and water resistant. So you can dunk this thing real quick. It's not submersible like a dive light, but it's definitely going to be able to handle the weather. So what I usually do for these reviews is I do a quick unboxing so you can see what's included when you order one of these. We'll go over the features that this particular light has, the form and function, everything like that. Then we'll kind of review the user interface so you know how to get into all the different settings and set the power modes that you want. Then we're going to take it outside into the real world so you can see just how powerful this light really is. So let's go ahead and dive in. And there you have it, right out of the box. This is a super nice, high quality, durable feeling light. Let's go ahead and set the EDC29 aside and see what else comes in the box when you order one of these things. We get the obligatory instruction manual and warranty card, which you don't need. Since you're watching this video, you'll know everything there is to know about this particular light. You get a nice paracord lanyard. This one's actually really nice, has a little carabiner on it, and lanyards are great for emergencies and stuff like that. They, the paracord can be used for other things as well, so that's actually a nice touch. And of course, a USB-A to USB-C cable, just in case you didn't have one already. All in all, I really like these low profile lights that NiteCore puts out. They're just really high quality build and fit and finish, and they just sit really nice in the pocket. Those flashlights, when they're circular, kind of put the pressure point right on the side of your hip, where these flat flashlights really spread that load out, making it a little bit more comfortable and more likely to carry it for when, like what just happened to me, the power goes out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the size and weight, the features you get, charge this thing up, and show you how this thing actually works. This light is 5.26 inches long, 1.36 inches wide, and 0.76 inches thick, and comes in at a nice 5.64 ounces. So this isn't what I would call a small light, but I wouldn't say it's a big light either. It's probably, we'll call it a medium light. It doesn't weigh, almost a pound. It's not like a baton or something like that, but it's not a little micro light either. You wouldn't expect it to be pushing 6,500 lumens. This is a pretty substantial light. On the back, we have a nice pocket clip. This is a nice beefy pocket clip. It doesn't come all the way to the top of the light. There's probably about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter, that'll be sticking out when you carry this around. To me, that's not gonna be too big of a deal, especially if you carry this on a backpack or something like that. That little extra meat actually can be really nice for grabbing it and pulling it out of the pockets. Just pointing that out, some people like super deep pocket clips. Others like to have a little meat sticking out so they can get a hold of it. And then on top of the pocket clip is a slot to put your carabiner loop through, so you can carry this with the carabiner if you want. Taking a look at the business end of this light, you can see that there's 2 cores. The center of each core has your throwing or spotlight, and that's how you get your 3,000, kind of spotlight lumens. The 2 center lights will turn on. But when you're in the lumen blades mode, each LED, we'll call them clusters. Each LED cluster has 9 LEDs. The 1 in the center and then 8 smaller LEDs around the perimeter. And that's how you get the floodlight. And NiteCore is calling this the lumen blade feature. Now all this means really is that you have a really super powerful floodlight that is powered by 18 LEDs total. So really a lot of little LEDs in the end of this bad boy. And we'll show you what that looks like outside. But the 2 center lights are what come on for the 3,000 lumens spotlight. And then all 18 LEDs is what come on for the lumen blade floodlight. As far as getting into the different user modes, we're just going to kind of walk through them real quick. To use this light, you have to make sure it's not in lockout mode. There's a nice positive lock switch here, kind of like what you'd find like on an automatic knife or something. You need to push it down to unlock the light so you can get to all the functions. Now, to turn the light on, we have 2 buttons on the top here. We have a power button and then what they call a customized button. I kind of think of this as like a tactical button because that's where all your high power modes are. So anyways, to use this light, if you half press the power button, the ultra low mode or 15 lumens mode will power on. That's just a momentary half press. And that's just if you need to, read something in the dark, something like that, not blow your night vision. If you do a full press on that power button, the light will come on without having to hold the button down. Now, once the light's on, you just do a quick half press to change the brightness modes that the light cycles through. It's going to be ultra low, low, medium, and high, and then back down to the ultra low mode. Like the screen here, it tells you what mode you're in and what the runtime in that mode is. So super useful, very well implemented. Now to get to the 3000 lumens search mode, you will half press this customize button on the back here, and that's going to be your 3000 lumens mode. Super bright. I mean, I can just feel the heat coming off this thing. And when you have that on, you'll see that the kind of temperature gauge or bar will be running as the light heats up, and then when it needs to step down or power off, it will do so. So what I recommend you do, just use it sparingly as needed, then let the light cool off so you still have access to the modes should you need it in the near future. That bar, when it's fully charged, it gives you about 10 seconds of runtime, but it's kind of based on the temperature of the light, so depending on your environment, it may change a little bit. Anyways, if you full press, that's how you get into your 6500 lumens blade mode, and that's really cool. So to change what this customize button does, you full press this and then hit the power button to change what mode that is. So strobe warning, we'll full press and then we'll hit that power button to get into strobe, hit the power button again to be into the lumens blade mode, which is the 6500 lumens. Releasing that customized button turns the light off. You have to hold that button down to be in those super high power modes, which makes a lot of sense. You don't want this thing accidentally turning on in your bag and stuff like that. So for the spotlight, you have to half press that customize button. For the lumens blade, you full press. And then for the strobe mode, you full press and hit the power button. So that's how you use all the features within the light. When you're not using it, I like to turn that lock switch on. That way it can't accidentally get turned on in your bag or something like that. In addition to the regular lockout mode, which is just activated by pushing the lockout button up, there's a partial lockout mode, which is activated when you push both the power and customize button down and then push the lockout button up. That will put you into partial lockout mode. What this means is the power button will no longer work, so it can't accidentally get turned on in your bag or something like that, but the customize button, which is a momentary button, can still activate the lumens blade mode when pushing completely down, or if you just do the half press, the spotlight or search mode. So that's how the partial lockout mode works. Another feature I really like about this light is the power button has memory. So as you can see now, I have the light in ultra low mode, not very bright. Might work really well for someone if they're outside reading maps, don't want to blow up their night vision. Now you're in the medium mode, which is 400 lumens. You can turn it off, turn it back on, and you can see that it comes right back on in the same setting. Personally, I like it in the high mode. Just for my use case scenario, that works really well. So I leave it on the high mode. That way when I turn it on, it immediately comes on in the high mode. You can't save the spotlight mode, lumens blade mode, or the strobe mode. You have to use the customize button for that. I had strobe on there. To change that to the lumens blade, you press and hold the custom button and the power button. And then of course, just half pressing the custom button is the spotlight mode with 3000 lumens. Yeah, that works really well. One nice thing about the OLED display is if you half press the power button, it will give you the battery status. You half press it again, you can cycle through the ultra low, low, medium, high settings. That way you don't actually have to turn the light on to figure out what setting you're in. I really like this feature. It's really handy if you're not trying to blind your partner who's sleeping while you rummage through your nightstand drawer. You can just quickly hit the power button and see what power setting the light is on, and even change it before actually turning the light on and blinding someone. So really like that feature. The OLED display really comes in handy to know exactly what power setting you're in, how much juice you have, and helps you make sure you're turning the light on in the intended mode. Really well done feature. The ultra low mode is 15 lumens and it will run for 61 hours. The low mode is 100 lumens, will run for 13 hours. The medium mode is 400 lumens, will run for 3 hours, which that's really good. I think a lot of people will like that 400 lumens mode, and 3 hours is plenty good for an EDC light, especially one of this size. Then we have the high mode, which is 1200 lumens and will run for 2 hours. And that's a really good mode for outdoor use. It's not going to overheat on you, and you're going to just get a lot of reach and stuff with that 1200 lumens. So that's a really nice level, in my opinion, for outdoor use. And then the search mode, that just powers the two core LEDs, one on each side, for 3000 lumens. And that's where you get the reach of 400 meters. So that's pretty impressive. And then we have your Lumens blade mode, which is 6,500 lumens powering all 18 LEDs, and that does not have a runtime on it. And then we have strobe mode, and that's again 6,500 lumens, and it's going to heat the light up quite a bit when using. To charge the light, you just turn the light to the side. Next to the power button here is a USB-C port cover. We're going to go ahead and uncover that. Just pop it open, and you'll see that there's a USB charging port in the side of the flashlight itself. Now the battery in here is not replaceable. It is a fully integrated battery, and that's how to get this flat shape. Otherwise it'd be this large, bulky, cylindrical flashlight. So just note that the battery is not replaceable, but it is nice because it's rechargeable. You just remove that USB-C cover and charge it up. This light will charge up fully in 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is actually pretty quick, which is great for an EDC light. I really like the quick charging feature that this 25 milliamp hour battery in this light has. All right, that's enough yammering about this light. Let's take this thing outside so you can see what it can do in the real world. All right, welcome to the testing area, AKA my backyard. And we have this set up the same way I have all my flashlight videos. It's a little boring, but the reason I do it this way is so you guys can go to any of my videos and compare the results of this flashlight with the flashlights I've done in the past. So anyways, we have a brick wall out here about 50 to 60 feet. We have some large planters, my house, and just a fence and stuff. So let's see what we can see on the ultra low mode. Not very bright, 15 lumens. You're not going to expect it to reach out and see much. But if I put my hand right in front of the camera, you can tell it is plenty bright to read, do things, look for things under the bed, stuff like that. So that's the ultra low mode, 15 lumens. Stepping up to the low mode, we have the 100 lumens setting. And this is a little bit brighter. I can see the side of my house. I can see the ground in front of me about 30, 40 feet. Not really quite getting to that back wall. I can see the light hitting it, but it's not super bright. But this would be good for indoor use. Stepping up from the medium setting, we have 400 lumens. And this is actually pretty bright. I can easily reach out to that back wall there, see things pretty clearly. This would be really good for a parking garage or in your garage or outside on a walking trail, something like that. Very usable. And with 3 hours, this is a really nice setting. It's going to last a long time and very usable. So 400 lumens medium, 3 hours. That's what it looks like. All right, and here is the high mode. And as you can see directly in front of us, it really lights the ground up very well in front of us. Reaches out to the back wall, no problem. You can see the tree over the back wall there. That tree is at least 30 feet tall. You see the house. I mean, this is very bright. I am noticing that there's not a real tight hot spot. It's pretty even, but there is a bit of a hot spot. It's not super floody in the high mode. It's just using those 2 LEDs in the front and none of the 8 LEDs surrounding the primary LEDs. So that's what it looks like on high mode. I personally really like this. I think it's going to work great for outdoor use. Like hiking, stuff like that. It doesn't get the light real hot, so it's going to be able to run in this high mode for a long time without needing to cool off. So the high mode is super usable. I'm really happy with the 1200 lumens. And again, 2 hours of runtime and 1200 lumens, really nice. Okay, next we have the spotlight mode, and this is the 3000 lumens with 400 meters of reach. And again, a really bright, even hot spot, very white. I'm noticing this is a very white. It's not overly cool with that blue tinge, but it's not super yellow either. It's a very white. Anyways, this 3000 lumens is super bright. It doesn't flood the entire back wall, but the light does illuminate the area it touches really well. Okay, so this next setting is going to be the Lumens blade setting at 6,500 lumens. That is the 6,500 lumens. As you can see, it just completely floods that entire back wall. That tree is super bright. So you can see now that it's stepped down to the high mode because the light got warm. But it's okay, the light is still functional even though we've heated it up with the Lumens blade mode. So that's good to see. Just because the light gets hot doesn't mean it shuts down on you completely. So again, Lumens blade and spotlight mode, you get about 10 seconds with before you need to step down and let the light cool off a bit. And finally, we have the strobe modes. So seizure warning. As you can see, it's super bright, 6,500 lumens, just covers the entire area. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because it's really hard on the eyes. And as you can see, it covers the whole area with that super blinding 6,500 lumens that the Ultra Blade setting has. Super impressive and powerful light for such a small compact package. The only downside I can say is it gets a little warm in the really high performance modes, but the stainless steel casing does a really good job dissipating the heat quickly. And of course the light steps down and output and never actually ceases to work, which I really like. That's it for testing. Let's head back inside. Okay, we're back inside from my testing area, and what's kind of my takeaway for this particular light? Who's it for, and what are kind of the biggest pros and cons I see for it? Personally, I think this is a great medium-duty EDC carry light. It's not an ultra-compact light, but it's not a huge mag light either. It's something that sits nicely in your pocket, and it's going to provide plenty of power for just about every use case situation. The reason I don't carry this a quote heavy duty EDC light is it is pocketable. You don't have to put it into a backpack or something like that. And the run times on the higher performance modes are a little bit limited because of the amount of heat that this light generates. When you put this much power into a small package, you're just going to run into some little heat issues. Now, the light is super durable, made of stainless steel with the titanium coating, and that helps it dissipate the heat. All that metal kind of acts as a heat sink. So it's really well thought out, but I am going to consider this a medium duty light. And that's perfect for most people in their everyday carry light. They're not a security guard or something. They don't need a 3-pound light that requires a holster to carry. This is the perfect pocketable size EDC light. Really digging it. The 400 lumens medium mode running 3 hours and the 1200 lumens high mode running for 2 hours. This is a really compelling option for most people. If you're someone who's outside a lot, or you just want an emergency light for those day-to-day situations like the power going out at your house, this is going to be a great light to carry around with you everywhere. You'll forget it's in your pocket, but it provides a ton of power for when you truly need it. That's my quick and dirty overview of NiteCore's new EDC29. I'm super impressed with it, and I think it's going to be a great light for a lot of people. I highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button below. It helps the channel out a lot. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell icon so you're the first to be notified when I release new videos just like this one. Cheers!